Hello, once again, I'm Pastor Jeremy Combs, and we're going to pause for a proverb. Let's go. Proverbs chapter 8. We're winding down the chapter. We just finished up a lengthier section on creation. Now, a little transition here, verse 32. Now, therefore, hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Well, we've spent 10 verses on God's creation, and as if God now says, okay, now that I have your attention, creation's designed to point us to a creator who then shows us a redeemer. Here, God, our creator, implores us to grab hold of these verses on wisdom and life. Hearken has the idea of to listen intelligently. Every time you open God's word, you need to be ready to grab hold of these verses and principles, and not just grab hold of them, but obey them. Then you need to guard your ways. Keep means to hedge or to guard around. Once we grab hold of the truths of God's wisdom, we then must put them under what we would call lock and key within the chambers of our hearts. We must keep them in. This is done through faithful observation and obedience to God's word. Then we must keep anything out that might harm God's word in our heart. The final outcome of grabbing and guarding wisdom in our life is that it brings gladness to our life. Blessed means not just happy, but how happy! Exclamation point. What are we doing with God's word today? Verse 33, hear instruction and be wise and refuse it not. Wisdom calls, but it also corrects and it chastens us. Nobody likes to be corrected. This is a theme of Proverbs. We need it, but we don't want it. Verse 33 is nestled between two verses that advocate for a blessing to those who follow wisdom. Perhaps it is set apart to show us the true key to living a wise and prosperous life is to allow wisdom to correct us. The challenge begins with, again, hear. This means not just to listen, but to listen intently. Sometimes when we're corrected, we miss the lesson because we're too busy trying to excuse ourselves or argue our own point of view. So we must decide to listen to correction. The next step is just as hard. Be wise. This holds the idea of applying truth inwardly. We must understand how this correction should define our life. Will we change or will we fall into the terrible snare of wallowing in self-pity and pride? Finally, don't depart from correcting wisdom. We try to avoid correction. A wise person desires correction in order that he might be right. Verse 34, blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. John Audubon loved wildlife so much that he often went to some extremes to accomplish his goal. Once he went into the swamps night after night to record observations about a nighthawk. Another time, Audubon repeatedly visited the bayous near New Orleans to observe a shy water bird. He would stand, think about this, neck deep in stagnant waters, scarcely breathing, while poisonous water moccasins swam right past his face. It was a great hardship, but he reported with enthusiasm that the pictures of the birds that he was able to print as a result made everything worthwhile. Nuts, but he loved them birds. If we want to be blessed in this part of life, we must be willing to do whatever it takes to find wisdom. The emphasis is both on the duty and its duration. The duty is watching and waiting for wisdom. Whether it be in public or private, we must be watching for it. Then when it does come, it doesn't come right away, we got to be willing to wait for it. The duration given is that we do it daily. Every day we rise and we watch and we wait for God's wisdom. This is what brings blessing. So today, you're going to be corrected. We need to be willing to listen to it. And then we've got to be watching and waiting because wisdom has something special for us today.